Deep in Nigeria's landscape, there are villages Google Maps refuses to show where time moves differently, and outsiders rarely leave unchanged. I'm talking about places where people speak languages that shouldn't exist, where homes are carved into breathing rocks, and where the past isn't history, it's survival. But wait, before we begin, please subscribe to ensure you never miss out on any of my essential travel discoveries. Comment and subscribe below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. Today I'm counting down 5 secret villages that defy everything you think you know about Nigeria. And what we discovered in the last one, it still keeps me awake at night. Number 5, Ryam Rock Village. Our guide refused to go further. That's when I knew something was different. Welcome to Ryam, a village that doesn't sit on the land, it sits in it. For over 300 years, families here have lived inside ancient rock formations in Plateau State. These aren't just shelters. These are homes carved into boulders the size of buildings, where the stone itself becomes walls, roof, and protection. The temperature inside? It stays 15 degrees Celsius cooler than outside with zero electricity. The rocks naturally regulate heat. Meet Danjuma. He's 67, a 4th-generation rock dweller. His grandfather fled tribal wars in the 1920s and discovered these formations. The stones breathe at night, Danjuma told us, and I thought it was folklore. But it's geology. As temperatures drop, the rocks contract and expand. You can actually hear them settling like the mountain is exhaling. A 2019 geological survey by the University of Jos confirmed something remarkable. These rocks create a microclimate, a natural air conditioning system that ancient people understood without the science. But here's what breaks your heart. Danjuma's 8-year-old grandson refuses to live in the rocks. He wants electricity, Wi-Fi. The tradition is dying with the elders. And those cracks appearing in the boulders? Geologists say the formations could collapse within 10 years. We're watching living history crumble in real time. But this village's secret is nothing compared to what's hidden in the forest. Number 4, Osunosogbo Sacred Grove Village. They told us, don't photograph the shrine. People who do, disappear. This is Osunosogbo, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Osun State. It's not just a forest, it's a village inside a primordial grove where shrine keepers have lived by 500-year-old rules, unchanged, uncompromised. This is Adani. She's 34, a shrine priestess who inherited her role at 12 when her mother died suddenly. She speaks to the goddess Osun through dreams, and before you dismiss this as superstition, listen to this. Adani keeps a leather-bound journal documenting her predictions. In late 2019, she recorded dreams of angry waters swallowing homes. 6 months later, floods devastated the region but not her village. She'd moved 40 families to higher ground. A 2018 Oxford University anthropological study documented indigenous knowledge systems in sacred groves like this one. What they found: environmental predictions that align with modern climate data, knowledge passed down through oral tradition, not science degrees. We attended the dawn ceremony. Thousands of white butterflies filled the grove. The air smelled like palm wine and wet earth. The chanting, I felt it vibrating in my chest, resonating with something primal. A Western scientist came here in 2017 to debunk the myths. He stayed 3 years. He still can't explain what he witnessed. Neither can I. But even this magical place can't compare to the village that exists between two worlds. Number 3, Sukkur Kingdom. This village sits so high. Clouds pass through the market square. Sukkur Kingdom. Adamawa State. Mandara Mountains. 1,500 meters above sea level. The oldest documented settlement in Nigeria, over 1,000 years of continuous habitation. To reach it, you climb 1,700 stone steps. No roads. No vehicles. Ever. This is Ibrahim. He's 42. Every day, he carries 50 kilograms of supplies up these steps. That's like climbing the Empire State Building 3 times with a person on your back. Daily. 10 years ago, his brother fell during a storm. Didn't survive. Ibrahim still makes the climb because someone has to. He's training the younger generation in ancient climbing techniques: weight distribution, breathing patterns, foot placement passed down through centuries. A 2004 study by Goethe University found archaeological evidence proving people have lived here continuously since 700 AD. That's before the Norman conquest of England. The Palace of Hidi the King is built into the mountainside. It looks like it grew from the rock itself, stone melting into stone. Ibrahim's 15-year-old daughter is the first in her family to leave for university. She wants to return as a doctor. But there's no clinic. The village has no hospital. No emergency services. If you fall sick, it's a 3-hour descent to the nearest medical center. Here's the twist. In 2015, the government offered to build a road. The village council rejected it. They choose isolation. They said roads bring change and change erases identity. But the population has dropped 40% in 20 years. Young people are leaving. And Ibrahim knows his daughter may never return. We're watching a kingdom fade into the clouds. But the next village takes isolation to a terrifying new level. Number 2, Naraguda village. In this village, they speak a language linguists say shouldn't exist. Naraguda, Plateau State. Once a bustling tin mining town, now a ghost settlement reclaimed by 200 people. But they're not just people, they're the last speakers of a dying language. Only 500 speakers of Naraguda exist worldwide. UNESCO classifies it as critically endangered. When a language dies, we don't just lose words. We lose entire ways of thinking, seeing, feeling. This is Grace. She's 29. When she was 7, her parents died in a mining accident. Her grandmother raised her speaking only Naraguda. Grace didn't learn English until she was 11. Now she's racing against time, recording every elder before they die. This year alone, she's lost 3 fluent speakers. Each death takes 50 to 100 untranslatable words with it. But Grace is fighting back. She created a YouTube channel teaching the language. 20,000 subscribers globally. People in Toronto, London, Tokyo learning words their ancestors never spoke. She played us a recording of her grandmother singing a lullaby. Halfway through, Grace realized something. The language has words for emotions English doesn't. A word for the sadness of watching something beautiful die slowly. A word for the hope that lives in memory. Cambridge University Linguistic Research in 2023 confirmed that Naraguda has grammatical structures found nowhere else in West Africa. Linguists traced roots to cultures 2,000 miles away. How did it get here? No one knows. Grace is creating a digital archive. But she needs help. Every view, every share, every comment keeps this language alive a little longer. But nothing, absolutely nothing prepared us for what we found in the last village. Number 1, Gwoza village. This village was erased from maps. Twice. And still, people return. Gwoza, Borno State, Gwoza Hills. A village that history tried to erase. It's built using a 600-year-old architectural technique called Dekwa. These aren't modern buildings. These are houses that breathe, that self-cool using stone arrangements that modern architects still don't fully understand. This is Yakubu. He's 55. In 2014, extremist attacks forced him to flee. He lost everything: home, livestock, community. He spent 7 years in a refugee camp 300 kilometers away. In 2021, he returned with 12 other families, despite the danger, despite having nothing. When he reached his grandfather's house, it was still standing. Modern buildings around it had collapsed, but the Dekwa structure remained. Stone walls, intact. A 2022 structural engineering study by the University of Maiduguri found that traditional Dekwa architecture is 40% more resistant to tremors than modern construction. The ancestors knew something we forgot. Yakubu's son is 16. He rebuilt the village school with his own hands. Now he teaches 47 children under a tree because there's no building yet. They study math, history and the Dekwa technique, how to read stone, how to build for centuries. The ancient terraces do something else. They naturally filter rainwater, creating an irrigation system modern engineers struggle to replicate. In a region facing desertification, this knowledge could save lives. I stood on those terraces at sunset. Golden light on ancient stone. Children's laughter echoing off walls built before Columbus sailed. The smell of millet cooking. And I felt that I was standing at the intersection of past and future. UNESCO is considering emergency heritage status. Not just to preserve stones but the knowledge within them. Climate-resilient architecture. Water conservation. Survival. Gwoza is still in a conflict zone. Humanitarian access is limited. But Yakubu and those 12 families? They're proof that something's identity, belonging, hope are worth dying for, or living for. These villages aren't tourist attractions. They're time capsules, living libraries, warnings and blueprints. Which village calls to you? The one in the clouds where tradition fights modernity? The sacred grove where the past speaks through dreams? The kingdom choosing isolation over erasure? The language dying one elder at a time? Or the village that refuses to die? Drop the number in the comments. 1 through 5. And if you've ever felt drawn to places that time forgot, to stories the world ignores, to knowledge slipping through our fingers, you're exactly who this channel is for. These villages need more than views. They need visitors, volunteers, witnesses. Subscribe, share this video, because every click is a vote for preservation over extinction. Which one will you help save?